back live. I got a really nice setup over here on Facebook, and now I am here on YouTube. Of course, on YouTube, no one has joined yet, and I'm just getting everything set up. I am so sorry about that. You know what happened was I actually went live on YouTube first, and it was on pause for so long getting the camera set up on Facebook that I ended up losing, and it went idle on me. And so once that happens, so let me adjust the lights behind us. There. Is that better? No? Still not better. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had such a rough start to one of my lives. I don't like that lighting over here. That's going to make it look like I have angels floating around me, and I don't. Sheesh. Hey, let's just go all natural, as you ladies like to say. All natural. Let's just going to come all natural. I got me right there. There you go. So the lighting is actually a lot better on the camera. I don't have the cute little light that Jamie uses because she has it with her at Longhorn Luster's. Let me tell you why. It is Good Friday, and Jamie and her mom are in town. They're over at Longhorn Luster's. Yes, I trusted them to do some work at Longhorn Luster's, and they are planting a garden. Can you believe that? Jamie and her mom are planting a garden, and I cannot wait to get back over there and see what happens and see how it all turns out. She's making a video. So this morning I drove them over. I got all the tools, got them all set up. And we also had a package that was brought to us, delivered to us from a Facebook and YouTube channel called The Naked Hog. And they're a gardening channel. And the fellow over there, Wes, he gave us a gardening startup kit. And so I told Wes, I'm not going to open that up until Good Friday, and we will open that and use it on our Good Friday gardening video. So Wes has been patient, and it's been like at least 2 or 3 weeks we've had that package sitting here. The goats got into it, the donkeys have gotten into it, but for the most part, it's still intact. And so I'm hoping that whatever seeds are in there and whatever else he included for our gardening, we can use that today. Jamie's going to take care of the gardening. Guys, I'm consumed with other things. I'm so happy to tell you. I know, stop it. All you want to talk about is that little bull calf. All you want to talk about is that little bull calf. So stop already. Let me get to let's do a little housekeeping, and then we'll get to the bull calf, okay? And the reason I'm looking back and forth is I have 2 cameras. Like I said, Jamie took the good camera with her, and so I'm having to use a small tripod over here for my Facebook and, of course, my laptop for YouTube. I feel like if I look here the whole time, I'm ignoring you folks. However, if I look over there the whole time, you're all seeing a little fat under my neck, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to like yeah, if you have epilepsy and you can have seizures easily, you might want to like just look away. Just listen to my sound and look away, because I've heard that sudden movements and things like that can trigger those seizures. Let me tell you a story about a very, very sweet girl who had epilepsy, and she had seizures. So I was much younger, way before I had kids. And so now I had LE, my older son, when I was 28. So you can imagine, I graduated college at 21. So you can imagine how much time I had to date and get to know people. Let's just say get to know people before I was married and had my first kid. And so I had met a girl at a club, a dance club, who I was for sure was way out of my league. Man, this girl was a knockout. She was out of my league. What can I say? Of course, all of us guys want to, they call that marry up. You want to marry up, but I knew that this over here was way out of my league. And you do your typical introduction, and you might exchange a phone number. And lo and behold, if I don't call and it's an actual number and she really answers, and we set up a time, we're going to go out and meet and what kids do. So I took her to the movie theaters. And while we're sitting at the movies, man, it was nice. I met her mom. She still lived at home. So did I. I met her mom, took her in my car to the movie theater. We go inside. We're sitting down. I'm sitting beside her. We have our popcorn that we're sharing. We both had our own drinks. And all of a sudden, she looked at me like in the corner of her eye and she jumped. I startled her. Maybe she realized that. Maybe she was just drunk the night I met her and she finally sobered up enough to realize that, what am I doing with this guy? But she said, "Who are you?" But she said it loud. It was like so loud that people were all looking. And I didn't know if it was some kind of a game that she plays or what was going on. And she's like, "Who are you?" And she's really scared. She's really scared. And I'm like, it's Lester. I'm Lester. Anyway, and so she just took a while, y'all. She just stared at me and she did not know who I was for a while. And then it bothered me to know that there's something going on. And then I'm thinking like, oh, so that's why this girl gave me her number. She got something wrong with her. And so I didn't know anything at the time about whatever, but I went ahead and I got her to leave and I was driving her back home. And then she finally was open and honest and said that she has epilepsy and that she has seizures. She says she takes a medication for her seizures, but she'd not been taking it because it makes her feel bloated and she wanted to look pretty for her date. Oh, y'all, that just kind of broke my heart. Here's a lady that needs medication to control her seizures, and yet she wanted to look pretty for her date and didn't want to feel bloated. So she didn't take her medicine for a couple of days. And sure enough, she had a seizure. And in that seizure, it wasn't like the kind of seizure that you're used to where you normally see the shaking and all that. She just kind of had she had a memory. Her mind just kind of like shut down for a minute. And when it came back on, it scared her. She didn't know who she was with. And so I got her back home. And I felt so bad about the fact that she hadn't taken her medicine just because of me. And I wanted to see her again because she really was a sweet girl, y'all. She was a really sweet girl. And so the next weekend, I drove down to meet her again. I picked her up and I took her. I forgot what we did the first part of the night, but we ended up at Burger King. And we're sitting at Burger King. And I don't know if you all know how when you go to Burger King and if you want to get ketchup or mustard, they have these little bitty white disposable containers and you can pump the ketchup or the mustard into your container. And so she had walked over to get some ketchup or some mustard, whatever. I've forgotten the fine details. And she had come back to the table and she had sat down and she was sitting across from me. And I'm sitting there eating and we're talking. And I noticed that she's holding that mustard or that ketchup in one of her hands and she's dipping her fries into it. And all of a sudden I saw her hand just kind of like squeeze. And poor baby, I just saw all of this mustard and ketchup stuff just kind of oozing out from around her fingers. And she was just sitting there just looking at me. She had a cute little pretty smile and she was just looking at me and she's sitting there squeezing her hand. And all of this stuff was coming around the edge. And so at that point, luckily, I got it. I realized what was going on. She probably hadn't taken her medicine. And so she probably was having another one of the seizures. And so I was pretty calm and collected. Even as a young man, I remember I reached up and I got her hand and I kind of pulled her hand down and I took our napkins and I was kind of like wiping her fingers off. And after a couple of minutes, she finally like came back to reality and she realized, oh my God, she was so embarrassed. She was so very embarrassed. Oh, and I felt bad for her. But, I don't know how long she had dealt with epilepsy and the seizures. But I remember that one time she had told me that sometimes sudden movements can trigger those things. So the whole reason I bring that up is because I know there's a lot of sudden movements, me looking back and forth, camera to camera. And so sorry about that. I want to talk about Longhorn Lesters real fast and let you know that we got Jamie up there doing some gardening this morning. The pond guys are very near completion, very near completion. They did save the kissing tree. We were able to get a little bit longer culvert. And so the kissing tree is actually in the middle. My fence will go on one side, and I'll be able to drive around the other side, and that kissing tree will be right there in the center, and it's going to be fine. So we did save the kissing tree. If you saw that video, we saved the kissing tree. The Me and Jake finished all of the fencing yesterday along the driveway. So we have the long driveway, and Jake and I finished all of that fencing yesterday. My friend Deontay, the same guy that comes here on occasion and helps me with little jobs, odd and end jobs around here, we paid he and his wife to come up, and they stained the entire thing. Guys, it's gorgeous. They stained front and back along the front. So the fencing is all done on the main driveway, all across the front. And then hopefully the guy who we paid to do the entrance, man, that thing is gorgeous. If you've not seen the entrance yet, I'm going to have to post a video of that really soon because it is gorgeous. It has the big brace across the top and has the Longhorn Leicester sign, and it's all been stained. It has the rock columns. It is an impressive entrance, and the guy has finished the gate, and his plans are to come out today and install the gate. So hopefully by tonight, when I get back over there, there'll be the big Longhorn Leicester gate in front that will keep people from coming up the property. And I can't wait to bring you at least a picture. I'll take that picture and I will post that picture as soon as I get it. We'll do the video later, but I want to show you that entrance, y'all. If you've not seen it yet, such a blessing to be a part of all of that and to see all that happen, right there in front of my eyes. There are a lot of jobs that I can do, and I said this in many, many, many videos, but there's a lot of jobs that I take pride in doing myself. But there's occasional jobs that I just can't do. I don't have the tools, the know-how, the resources. And so the pond guys, and for as much work as they've put into that pond, it's going to be really, really nice. They got it all lined with clay. And so now all we're waiting for is a couple of heavy rains to start filling that thing up, and we'll be good. I don't know if it's legal to pump water out of the river to fill a pond. I think. And so I just think that you can fill a pond, you cannot irrigate a pasture. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys know the laws on that. But from what I remember, if I'm not mistaken, you're able to fill a pond using rivers. You cannot irrigate your pastures or your yard using rivers. And so if that's the case, if we don't get the water that we need to fill it, then at some point we'll rent one of those pumps, and we'll need 300 foot of line. So it'll have to be a big pump to pump water that far and up that steep of a hill. And we will fill that pond using that river water. And that'll be awesome. I can't wait for that, to see the finished product of all of those things. So Jamie's gardening today. You want to talk about that bull calf? I know I keep seeing the comments that I can read. I'm not wearing my glasses, but the comments over here are really close. And now YouTube has had access to that video for a couple of days now. And of course, you may have seen Jamie's video this morning, which is more about the bull calf. But yes, Tex is now the proud father of a bull, his very own bull. Man, and he is a proud father. He's walking along that fence line with Billy, and his chest, y'all, are sticking out like this. His shoulders are back. All right, maybe I exaggerate a little bit on that. Sometimes I have an issue with kind of humanizing animals. And but no, I imagine that in the animal world, Tex is like this. He's walking around, his shoulders are back, and his head is high, and he just cannot. Billy cannot stand to look over there and see Tex, such a proud father of an amazing little calf. That baby's 48 years old now. So 48 years old. So that baby's 48 hours old, 2 days old today. And we brought the first video yesterday of me finding her. And then we have recorded a whole lot more that you will be getting over the next couple of days. LE, this is important. I hope that you're all able to hear this. LE is coming today to make a video about naming the little guy. But I want to teach you something today. I want to teach you something, but I bet you didn't know. I bet you didn't know. And so what I'm going to do is grab some papers here. I have some official paperwork that I'm going to grab for you. And I want to show you some things that you may not know. So I brought 4 pieces of paper here, registration papers. If you don't know, Jamie and I belong to an organization of Professional Longhorn Breeders Association. Tex is not just a mutt cow, if you will. He's not just a mutt bull. He has a very pure bloodline, and so does Santiana. They are registered Longhorns. And so I don't know if you know this or not, but you do know that the names we give our animals are not the official names on their registration papers. Y'all do know this, right? So y'all didn't know that, did you? So here's an example of this would be Santiana's registration papers. And I'm not going to zoom in. I don't want you to have all of the fine details. Some of y'all are going to start zooming in and trying to get screenshots. What can you do with it? It's mine. It's right here in my possession. So you can't do anything with it. But I want to read y'all some names of who we call Santiana is not officially named Santiana. So I'm going to start off with Santiana's grandparents on her. This is funny. Okay, so here, so okay. Let me just name Santiana's real name. Santiana, the mom who gave birth to Gracie, Pearl, and now this little bull, this little Longhorn bull. Her real name is J.R., like initials, Zabrina. And Zabrina is spelled with a Z. J.R. Zabrina. Bet you didn't know that, did you? And so whenever we got Santiana, and of course I received these papers, I had to mail off and get them. They had to be transferred to us from the company that makes sure they keep a documentation of all the registered animals. And so when I saw what her real name was, that was cute. That's Zabrina, J.R. Zabrina. But that's not the name that I wanted to keep for her. I wanted to have something more unique to her and something that was kind of cute. And so I named her Santiana. Santiana, referring back to a very historical figure here in Texas and Mexico of Santa Anna. And if you don't know Texas history, you have no idea who I'm talking about, do you? Anyway, Santiana's real name is Zambrina, and that's a beautiful name. Her father's name is J.R. Viking. J.R., same initials, Viking. And then her mother's name is J.R. Zita, Z-I-T-A. I'm guessing that J.R. comes from like a LL for Longhorn Luster, from the original ranch that she came from. I can't say that for sure, but when you register an animal, every name has to be unique. You can't have Maggie. You can't just have Maggie. That doesn't work. You have to have a unique name for every registered animal, especially if they're in a special bloodline like the Longhorns are. And so, yeah, her official name is J.R. Zabrina. She's fathered by J.R. Viking, and her mother is J.R. Zita, Z-I-T-A. You want to hear her grandparents? So her grandparents on her father's side is this. Listen, do me a favor when you have time and look this up. Sitting Bull is her grandfather. That's from her dad's side. Sitting Bull is a very, very popular bull. And he has sired, is what they call, lots and lots and lots of babies. So whenever you have that kind of a bloodline, Sitting Bull is big. And you can look him up and see pictures of him. I don't have pictures. All I have is the name and all of the records and stuff. And then, of course, her grandmother is called KC Just Respect. KC Just Respect. And so that's pretty neat how you have the different names. Um, we nicknamed her Santiana, but now that we have a calf from her, a bull calf, who we're going to continue with the registration process, we will have to give him a unique name, not what we're going to call him. We're going to call him whatever you guys choose to call him, but we have to go by and do unique names to do our official registration papers. I don't know if you understand that at all, but it's when you have an animal registered, you have to do that. Um, y'all want to hear Ernie's real name? So Ernie, our alpaca, is also registered. Ernie is also registered. Y'all ready for this? You're not going to believe this. All right, so I will tell you a lot of Ernie's bloodline. This may be boring you to death. You may be bored to death hearing all of this, but all right. So listen, Ernie's actual name is, I'm trying to read this. This is going to sound so stupid. Estates Chantilly, yeah, Snowmass. Estates Chantilly Snowmass. And then they have Midnight, like a hyphenated last name of Midnight. So Estates Chantilly Snowmass Midnight. Now, if that's not the craziest name ever, guys, we're never going to bring an animal in and keep that kind of a name. Unfortunately, the owner didn't give him a name. He never says, this is Ernie. So we called him Ernie. We thought it was cute, and he had kind of a little Muppet haircut, and so we named him Ernie. But his real official registered name is Estates Chantilly Snowmass Midnight, which is crazy. Of course, it goes through all of the moms and the dads and all of the bloodline. So I'm guessing for people who breed these guys and sell them to make money, they have to have all this information. All right, I know what you want to do. You want to hear about Tex. You want to hear about Tex, don't you? All right, let me get his paper pulled up over here. So first and foremost, guess what? His real name is not Tex. I named him that. His real name is not Tex. Are y'all ready for this? Oh my gosh. It's Merc, M-E-R-C, Merc C's Bootstrap SS. Merc C's Bootstrap SS. And that is the name. That's Texas official name as far as his registration goes. Merc C Bootstrap SS. I would never call him that. This is cute, though. You want to hear a really neat connection? His mother's name is Texana Van Horn. Texana Van Horn. Isn't that cute, Texana? I actually like that name, Texana. And you want to hear a secret? If we had a female right here, then guess what? Her name was going to be Texana. We would have still offered you guys a chance to talk about it and think about it, but Tex, Santana, Texana would have been a really cute name. And so that's Tex's mother's name. And then his father's name is JP Rio Grande. JP Rio Grande. Rio Grande. So like the Rio Grande River, JP Rio Grande, which is pretty awesome. And it goes into his grandparents. Oh, Zenith. How about that for a name for a grandfather? Zenith. So we have a kind of some neat stuff going on with all of these babies. Would you know that Maggie, baby, I'm talking about you. So Maggie has a real name also, and it's not Maggie. I call her Maggie, but her real, you want to come up here and talk? You want to come up? Come on. So Maggie's, she's not tall enough to reach, y'all. Y'all, no one can see Maggie. So Maggie's real name is May Hughes. May Hughes. That's her real name, is May Hughes. But I'm going to call you Maggie because that's what I got to know you from. All right, go back to sleep. Go back to night. So Maggie's real name is May Hughes. No, I thought that was kind of interesting. Just knowing that the names that we know all the babies from are names that we've created, that you've helped create a lot of those names. But in reality, they actually have official names that you would never recognize. So we've done all of the registration for all of our cows and Santana's babies because they're all, pure line registered. And I don't even think I should tell you all those official names because you're going to think differently about them. You're going to think differently about them. I can tell you some. You want to hear one? All right. So Pearl is real simple. Simple. You ready for Pearl's real name? I'm a Pearl. I'm a Pearl. There was no one else out there named I'm a Pearl. So Ima is spelled I-M-A, Pearl, like her name, Pearl. I'm a Pearl. Obviously, her father and mother, blah, blah, blah. And now, we have all of that. And then Gracie, oh, it's going to be original. You ready for this over here? How many want to guess it? How many think you can guess Gracie's real name? Nobody wants to guess, or no one. No one. Maybe there's a little bit of a lag. Y'all are talking about other stuff. What are you all talking about? Where's my glasses? Dang it. Y'all are going to make me do this and make me look so old. Oh my God. A lot of y'all are doing it. Listen. So I'm a Grace was close, but someone already has that name. Someone already has I'm a Grace. So I'm a Graceland. I know that sounds stupid. We tried to keep Ima true to everything. And so we would never call her I'm a Grace or I'm a Graceland. But if you want to, just know that's her official registered Longhorn name. I'm a Pearl. Sounds so country. It sounds so darn Mayberry, like hillbilly, y'all. Mayberry. But I'm a Pearl and I'm a Graceland. And so we did not name Huey anything special because Huey was not out of Texas bloodline. You all know the story of Huey, which was Santana's first baby, was actually conceived after Santana had one of those girl nights out. Oh, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends. Yep. And she come back with a baby. And we loved Huey. Don't get me wrong. We loved Huey, but he was not anything out of Tex. And so that would have been Billy's doings. That would have been a great name. Billy's doings. Oh my gosh. Well, he wasn't registered anyway. He wasn't registered because he only had half of a bloodline. And my dad's bulls are not registered. But think about that for a minute. Billy's doings. That would have been funny. Man, that would have been really funny. Billy's doings. But so that's kind of neat looking at all those papers and looking back. And of course, now once we get the name that we'll let you guys choose, we will come back and do the paperwork, and then we will start having to fill all the stuff out. We'll mail it all in, and it doesn't cost a lot. It's like $15, and they do all the paperwork. Then they send you back the certificate. It looks just like that, and it's beautiful. And so here's the one for the alpacas. They all come out very official. So anyway, that's that. Anyway, so what's going on with everything else? As far as what's going on around here, I know a lot of people saw the video and you're very concerned about which animals are going over to Longhorn Lester's. I think that the questions begin to spring up when you first saw the entrance. The first snippet that I showed you of the entrance that says Longhorn Lester's, and a lot of people were able to see a horse. There's a longhorn, and you saw an ostrich. And man, we didn't say much about it. We weren't going to talk much about it because there's a time and a place for everything. We're going to follow our timeline, okay? We're going to keep our videos true to our timeline. And so there's a time and a place for all of these videos. I did make a video this week where I will be talking about which ostriches will be going over to Longhorn Lester's. So keep your eye out for that one. I don't know exactly what day I will schedule it, but what I do is I make videos, and I will sometimes look and talk to Jake and LE and Jamie. What we don't want to do is all put the same video content up on the same day. So, for example, yesterday on YouTube was my day to do the introduction to the new bull calf. Jake and Jamie and LE were very respectful not to overburden you guys with too much. Today, Jamie did her first video of the bull calf, and tomorrow, Jake will do his video of the bull calf. And then I don't know exactly. I actually asked LE to do his this afternoon of the naming of the bull calf. So a lot of people have been suggesting names to us. I could tell y'all which name I'm kind of liking, but I don't want to kind of have any kind of, I don't want you to say, that's a good idea, Lester, I like it. But if you just keep in mind that we have named our bull Tex, like Texas, and then Santana from a part of Texas history, there is another name, y'all, that is just like screaming. And I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to talk about it. But what Ellie will do is he will put on his video some of the more popular suggestions. And then he will let you guys all throw your suggestions in there in the comments. And then what we will do is we'll narrow it down to a final 3. I'm showing 2, but there's actually 3. You can only see that on certain camera angles. We will narrow that down to a specific 3 that are the more popular of the 3 names. And then Ellie will come back with the video and make you select, but only out of those 3. And so that makes it fair. So that will make it fair. And trust me, a lot of these names that we have over here were never names that I would have named anybody. I would have never named some of the names that you guys have come up with. But we want to make y'all a part of the videos as much as we can. We like to make you a part of the farm as much as we can. And so just bear with us on that. It takes time, and we're trying to be respectful of each other. The reason why we don't all post the same content the same day is because one person would get the majority of your time. And we know that you do not have hours and hours and hours to spend on any given day watching videos. We understand that. And so what we want to do is, I don't want to hurt Jamie, or Jake doesn't want to hurt me with grabbing all the content on that day and having our videos go unwatched. So what we do a lot is we talk with each other. We kind of plan out a schedule of events, of video events, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, if you have not seen Jamie's video on the baby bull, it's playing on her YouTube this morning, and we'll play it on Facebook in a couple of days. We have to give it a couple of days so that we can make sure that we don't give everybody the same content on the same day. Anyway, that's how we do that. But yes, there will be more than just Longhorns going over to Longhorn Lester's. As far as making that move, man, our initial goal was April the 1st. But right now, with all of the pond and the rains that we had, and the fact that we couldn't get Mr. W. Miss Sharon moved out, it has slowed us down a lot. And if you don't understand what I mean by slowing you down, guys, it takes tools to work. And I had nowhere to move my tools. I moved my tractor over, and I moved over the 4-wheeler. And those are the only machines that I could find room for over at Dub and Sharon's, even with those 2 huge structures. And then, of course, the barn that we built, I did not have room for anything. And I was not going to move all of my tools over, knowing that we, A, may need them over here for different jobs, and then B, I didn't want them to get shuffled in with Mr. Duff stuff in all of the move. So I was literally working out of my truck on a day-by-day basis. And so work was slow. Getting fencing done was very slow. Working in terrain that's not level. I've never built a fence without using a level. But on this particular fence, all I was using was a measuring tape. It was just measurements from the ground up. And so luckily all of the posts run, parallel together, down the hill, up the hill, around the hill, whatever. But that was not easy for me. That was not an easy job. And so for you, I've said it before, but for you folks who live in those states or the parts of the country that have that kind of terrain, I give a lot of credit to you guys. The rocky soil, trying to use my auger in going through iron ore was not easy. There were a lot of rocks. That was not easy. Not the kind of rocks that you guys have, mostly rocks that Mr. Dub over the years had put there along the driveway to kind of help, make a nice solid driveway. But when you get an auger and you're trying to drive a hole, you're trying to drive down into that rock, it can just beat you to death. It can beat you to death. And you discover that you have muscles you never knew you had because they're sore the next day or the next couple of days. So it was just a very lengthy process. I did not want to move the animals over while they had tractors and stuff there. You all know how Tex gets around equipment. And so we pushed off the 1st of April, and now our goal is for the 1st of May. It's still not going to be summer yet. So I'm thinking that this is the last week for all of the tractors. I know that I finished my fencing project up along there. So now the cows are going to be secured inside their pasture. We have the barn ready. The water lines are run. The pond is empty. The pond is still empty, but we have water troughs until the pond fills. And even then, we'll always keep fresh water. We will keep fresh water. Ponds are nice to cool off in, to see your ducks and geese swim in, but our animals still prefer to drink out of a water trough. The water troughs don't have the same taste as pond water. And so even though animals in nature survive off of rivers and streams and creeks and ponds, I know that our animals will walk right past the pond and come all the way up to the water trough to drink water. And so we want to always have a water trough available. The ponds are nice for if you lose water. If you lose water, animals can survive, but we don't want our animals to, just have to deal with the taste if they don't really care for it a whole lot. So, but it will make that place a whole lot nicer. Jamie and her mom are doing a lot. And today they're getting some gardening stuff done. So when I get back over there, there'll be a lot of neat videos to bring to you. I'm going to let Jamie have that video, though. This gardening thing is her project. It's not mine. Of course, I'll video progress. I'm the one who goes over there every day. So I'll be able to see more of the garden growing and things. And I'm sure they'll be a part of my videos. But what I'm mostly excited about is Lester's prayer place. I have found me a place at Longhorn Lester's that I'm calling my prayer place. Come over here. You're going to get to see a little snippet of my son live. Come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5,000 people are watching you right now on 2 different cameras. So I want you to tell these 5,000 people what a great dad you have and how much you love me, how much you love your dad. And I need you to say it right now because I can't hold this grip forever. So Lex do you want to, hey, talk to me real fast. I'm being dead serious. No joke. All joking aside, between 1 and 10, how much do you enjoy when you're at Longhorn Lester's? I know you don't like, all of the no internet and my games won't work and I can't get a good signal on my phone, but forget that part. I mean, as far as the nature part that you've been doing, how much do you enjoy spending time at Longhorn Lester's?
I'd give it besides the internet and the games.
Besides the internet and the games, those 2 don't count today. Only the part of nature, the beauty, the hills, the
8.5.
8.5 from a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old is good, y'all. An 8.5 from a guy as picky as him is good. So you're telling me that if we finally get internet and we finally get better phone service, you might get up to a 10?
Yes.
And what is your favorite part of that place? I'm just curious. So here's what I've noticed. When you've gone over there, you've played on the hills. You've climbed Widow's Ridge or Dead Man's Hill a couple of times. You've done the 4-wheelers all over the place. You've gone through the ponds. You've gone up and down the hills. You've played by the river. We kind of played around in the little deer blind, but there were wasps that tried to get us. So what's been your favorite part so far?
The house.
Oh, just the big barnuminium part? Okay, well, that's cool. So if you guys have never been in a structure as large as, okay, give me a hug and I love you. Give me a hug because I love you. I hope that you guys never have to fight with your kids for love because I have to fight him for love. And picture a kid playing in a 4,000 square foot metal building. And now that we have all of the things moved out, and there's a lot of space in there. He's not going to leave me alone now. He's not going to leave me alone. I have woken. Hey, I'm trying to get the cameras to face in the same direction. I can only see you on one camera. All right, really, go do your thing. Let your dad finish this live up real fast. Lex and I are about to head over to Longhorn Lester's and see what the girls are up to and take them lunch. And he does like it. But no, seeing Lex and Connor, we took Connor last time, seeing them being able to run around in a 4,000 square foot metal building. That's a lot of space in there, y'all. I don't know what we're going to do with all that space. Plus, don't forget, we have the 30 by 40, what we're calling our garage, now that we have our barn. So a lot of neat things to come. And I want to thank y'all for being so supportive. I'm going to say this, and I cannot say it enough. I don't know which camera to look at. If I was able to do my eyes like some folks can, that would be easy. So I'm just going to look right down the center of both of you. I just want to say thank you. And not trying to get emotional or anything, but I've had some struggles over the past 2 weeks with people in my life. And I know all of us have struggles, y'all. All of us struggle with people. We all have struggles with people, acquaintances, friends, family, strangers. We all struggle with people. But the difference is, I guess I'm blessed that I have you all to talk to about my struggles. And I'm sorry that maybe you don't have someone to talk to about yours. But don't think I'm unique in the fact that here goes Lester again. Somebody did him wrong. Now we all got to hear about it. Whenever I have something on my heart or in my head or on my mind or whatever, it does me good to talk about it. And so I created a place over at Longhorn Lester's that I am calling Lester's Prayer Place. And I've taken 3 walks over there already. And my initial goal was to talk to God. Just to, Lex, your phone's going off, buddy. My initial thoughts of my prayer place was a chance to get over there in the peace and quiet and just be one with nature and one with God. But what I discovered is that at my prayer place, I have walked over there 3 times and I've become pretty much one with you all. I have opened my heart and opened my mouth. I've opened my heart and I've opened my mouth and I've got some stuff off my chest. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not looking for content. There's plenty of content, y'all. There's plenty of content. But it's therapeutic for me to be able to talk about things. The promises that I made to Jamie is that I would never mention anyone's name by name. I would never mention anyone's name because the purpose and the goal of the page is not to shame anybody. I never want to shame anybody, but I don't mind calling someone out for being an asshole. And so I will, and so this is what I said in my video. I'm like, if you don't want to be called out for being an asshole, then don't be an asshole. It's that easy. But I think that by me talking about things that I've struggled with, I feel like it opens up a door for you to talk about things that you also struggle with. And the reason I say that is because it has, obviously, the first thing that I opened up about was about my anxiety and my depression. And as scared as I was, and as belittling as it felt to admit to you all that I had a problem that I couldn't fix on my own. It also the comments and the messages and the letters from you all proved that in fact I wasn't alone. I am just one of many people, some who have identified their problems and some who have not. And so that has kind of given me a place to go when I'm feeling that way. And it's in a way, it's become a bit of a support group for me. And you don't know how much it's helped me. And I, even when I think back before I ever made it officially known that I have a problem, I knew I had a problem, and you guys knew I had a problem. And it was just, I guess it takes enough people to tell you to make you say, I should look into this. And no, but I also have a trust issue. You know, I have an issue with organized religion, and and then, you know, I do. I have some issues. Lester has you don't come here for the animals only, and if you do, then you already have learned over the course of time that there's a lot more to this page than just animals. Animals are another part of my therapy. They're a part of a contribution that I feel like I can give to the world of people who are not able to experience animals, those who used to have animals, those that would like to have animals, that you know, one day are wanting to do this. And that's great. And I love that. I know the animals are living their best life, and that's only because of the videos. Um, don't forget that without videos, they're $0. So Lester has to make videos. Without making a video, then you make $0. So videos have to be a part of my life and a part of the animals' lives. But just as these videos have helped me achieve a dream in Longhorn Lester's, these videos have also given you animals the very best life that they've ever lived, a whole 100 times better than where they've come from, most of them. So just know that there will be content coming to you from Lester's Prayer Place that will not be animal related. It will be, Jamie said I should call it After Dark, Lester's After Dark, because normally when someone refers to something after dark, that's more of no more of the politically correct stuff, no more of the having to watch your words, no more having to sugarcoat everything so as you don't, offend somebody. Lester's Prayer Place will come to you just as Lester After Dark, being true to who he is and speaking his mind and getting things off of his chest. And so if you run across a Lester After Dark from his prayer place, just know that you're going to get about as real as it gets. And you may not like that side of Lester, and that's fine, because you always have choices in what you watch and what videos you see and what channels you subscribe to. So that's about all I have. There was a letter and a parcel. If y'all have time for two things, and I promise you two things, and I'll let you go. We're only at 48 minutes. That's not too bad. I do have to take Jamie lunch. This here comes to Lester's lot at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. And it says, I'm wishing you an Easter that's joyful in every way. Happy Easter. I hope you and the animals have a great day. And this is from a very sweet lady who writes her name so small that I have to put on my readers. Now, listen, I'm going to let you guys help me with this one over here. Frdiay Wells. And she comes all the way from River Falls, and I believe that's in Wisconsin. Boy, my eyes. So thank you so much for the Easter greetings. And it is Good Friday. Let's not forget the significance, the importance of this day. And I don't really know why we celebrate, because it seems horrible to celebrate the day that, you know, Jesus was crucified. But I think that day that we kind of more that we remember. And of course, this day leads up to Sunday, which is the day that he arose. And then the last one that I'm going to open for you today is I keep seeing that same comment. So we have a rogue commenter who just has to know the answer to this one question about what are you going to do with the new baby? What are you going to do with the baby? Where are you going to move the baby? Guys, like I said at the beginning of my video, all in due time. There's not going to be a thing happen around here that you will not be a part of, that you will not be privy to. Now, ultimately, Jamie and I, along with Ellie, my oldest son, who helps maintain and manage my farm, along with Jake, my nephew, who helps run the farm, the day-to-day operations, we will all talk together, and we've all made those decisions as far as what animals will stay, what animals will go, and the future of everything here, because I'm a Survivor is going to be around for a very long time. And I can't imagine that unless Facebook kicks us off, or in case YouTube kicks us off, we're not going anywhere. So what we have over here in this next parcel are 2 Tractor Supply gift cards. And I just can't tell you enough how much we use Tractor Supply. I'm not trying to endorse or promote the store, but I will say for the things that I need, I could not make it without Tractor Supply, because when Lester goes shopping, it's different than when you go shopping. Jamie can do a Walmart order, or put an order in at Sam's or Costco, and those kind of things. There's other things that Jamie can only get from, well, her jewelry from the James Avery place, or what's that makeup place I had to go into for the makeup place for her makeup at Christmas? I forgot the name of that place. Wait, was that Valentine's Day? I went to a makeup store and got her some makeup. I forgot, but there are certain stores Jamie has to go to. I have to go to Tractor Supply. Lester, I hope this helps around the sanctuary. I love your and Jamie's videos. You guys are awesome, and you keep me smiling. Love and hugs from Cindy. And then Cindy's last name is Lunsford. Hope I'm saying that right. So we appreciate that, Cindy. And like I said, I pretty much can't go a week without stopping through Tractor Supply and loading up on feeds, and then just materials that I need for both properties. So thank you so very much for that. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. Just once again, thank you all for loving us and supporting us and being so kind to us, and for all of the blessings that we get from you guys and watching the videos, putting up with the most annoying ads in the world. I'm going to say one funny story. Please don't hang up yet. Please don't hang up. You have to hear one funny story. I voice text a lot. And so on my phone, since I'm a teacher, I have to always put punctuation. So I'll be like, Jamie, I'm about to leave, period. What do you want for lunch? Question mark. Do I need to bring the totes with me? Question mark. I'll see you in a little bit, period. Okay, fine. So that's how a general text will look, something to that nature. But if you notice something, you hear regular words, and then you hear period. Regular words, period. And listen to me, I kid you not. I kid you not. I swear this on the Holy Bible, every version of the Holy Bible, along with my sons in there, that the number one ad that plays when I watch a video, the number one ad that plays no matter what, every single day on both of these platforms is a tampon. It's a tampon ad. And so if that right there, I know every word. I got the moves, making moves, making moves. Listen, it's a girl in a city, and she's jumping around on these little bubbles that float. They're floating above the city, and she's jumping around on them. And she's able to do all of this even though she's on her period. And that plays on every single one of my videos. And if I have a long video and I watch the video in the entirety, so sometimes an ad will play multiple times, Then I have to watch that girl jumping around, running through the city. I'm making moves. And she's jumping on all these little bubbles that have all these little words in there that mean, I guess, something that goes along with a woman's period, cramping or whatever. I don't know exactly, y'all. And so I was very baffled by that. I'm like, why am I getting all these ads about a tampon or I don't know. And then Jamie, who's very smart, says, because your phone is listening to you. And if your phone hears you say the word period like 100 times a day, then your phone must think that you have a little bit of an issue. And this period ad, the advertisers thinking, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get this guy. Well, we're going to get him good. This guy got a problem. Or I don't know if they recognize men or females' voices. I don't know. But bottom line is, I get that same ad on every video I watch. And so it would be kind of funny to you if you ever get a chance to watch your ads. Most of you will skip them, and I totally understand that. But if you ever watch your ads, to ask yourself this question: do those ads directly reflect something that you might have been talking about to somebody? Maybe on the phone, maybe in your house? And if so, isn't that scary? Isn't it scary when your phone is listening to you and then it's reporting or it's sending this data over to advertisers who are specifically advertising to you based on what you talk about? And so here's an example. If I was to say something about Tractor Supply like I did today, I promise you there'll be an ad for Tractor Supply pop up in one of my videos, an ad for me. And then you have to know one more thing. The ads that I see are different than the ads that you see. We see different ads. Your ads play for the audience. So the ads that you see are not the same ones that I see. Oh, I still got to deal with, the length of ads and the number of ads, but they're different ads based on what we talk about, what our phones and our computers are listening to us say. And that's kind of scary, but it's also kind of funny. Anyway, I got to go because I got the moves. I'm going to jump my way over to Longhorn Lester's. Lex, I got the moves. You want to go with me? We're going to get out of here. We love you guys. And thank you so much for helping me achieve this dream of mine, and for all of the things you do for the Morrow family. All of the Morrows here are just so blessed to have you guys. And we are such a unique community in the fact that you put up with us through so much. You're so loving and accepting of my dad. And that makes me so happy for him to see a man this late in his life who finds such joy in sharing stories, with you all. Maybe a little tech, he could use a little tech help here and there, but for a man his age that goes out almost every day and makes a video of something and talks to you, and he sees you as friends and real friends. And I love that. That gives him something. I see how his life has changed over the past year of making videos. And so he really wakes up with a drive and a purpose. And I know that you don't know my dad any more than what you see in videos, but my dad has not always had that same drive and purpose. After he retired, he actually went through a bit of a slump, which everybody does. And so introducing him to videos, and now he's making videos and he's naming animals and he's sharing personalities with you all. And I know my dad is happier than he's been in a very long time, probably ever. And that's good. And then, of course, LE and the journey that he's on and trying to find himself in life and the decisions that he's going through, his spiritual journey, along with him, getting married and with his relationships and the stuff that you accept and allow, and you put up with that, with us finding ourselves, because don't think that we've all found ourselves. Here I am at my age and still trying to find myself in different areas here and there. And of course, Jamie, suits to boots, from a city girl to the country. And man, isn't she she is a natural. I was laughing because something that I've always done in my videos is I've always given the animals a voice. They do. They all have a voice, and I don't mean an actual voice, but we all know the way they think because we know the animals so well. So I like to have long talks with the animals, and I tell you exactly what they're thinking and how they're feeling and why they're upset or why they're happy or why they're being a butthole. And if lo and behold, here's Jamie a year into making videos, and she's out there having hour-long conversations with a darn horse. And she's actually putting words in that horse's mouth. That's funny. He's the best. Jake is the best. There's no better. Jake is going to be, when all is said and done, no matter what you see on my channel right now with the 1.7 million on Facebook and the 200,000 on YouTube, I hope that y'all know that Jake is going to surpass all of us. Jake is going to pass us all up. He's young, he's charismatic, he's energetic, he's hilarious, and he carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. And he's emotional, and he's as sick as I am. And you put all those things together, and you got the recipe for long, long, long history in making videos. And I know that Jake is excited about his future in video making. And I think that the more time that Jake spends over at Longhorn Lester's, the more excited he is about one day doing that for himself. And I says, little brother, I says, hold on a minute. That's a great dream. That is a great dream. But what it's going to take is a whole lot more work. You got to put in a whole lot more work because Longhorn Lester's may have happened, for us in just the 4 years that we've been doing this, but I don't think anyone understands the amount of work that it takes. Let me say this real fast, and then I promise I'll let you go. I said this in one of my talks at my prayer place. It took a lot of work to get here. It did. And I know what you consider work might not be what I consider work, because the work on my end is not just the physical labor, but it's also the videoing those moments, capturing, highlighting, showcasing, making. I think what Daniel Arms showcase is what we bring to you is kind of a highlight reel of the day. And whereas a lot of folks make 3 or 4 videos a week, we do it every single day and sometimes twice a day. And so talk about work. And then if you think it was hard to get here, as far as the amount of people to watch the videos, getting Facebook to offer you the business page, getting yourself verified on both platforms, having Facebook and YouTube promote your products and promote your page and offer bonuses for the supporters and all that they've done to help us get here. Guys, you have to maintain it. You can't just get here and then slack off. And I told Jamie that I have set myself up for 7 videos a week minimum, sometimes twice a day on those days when I catch content. And that's what it takes to stay here. And that's what it takes to keep growing and to stay here. And so don't ever think that just because Lester's bought himself a Longhorn ranch and Lester's going to go off to Longhorn Lester and right off in the sunset. No. If Lester wants to continue doing what we started here, then I will spend the rest of my life doing this. So there's no retirement for Lester. There's never going to be a day of retirement for Lester. And I am completely okay with that. I am completely okay with that. You've become my friends and you've become my family. You have become my go-to. You have become my shoulder to cry on. And And I don't know what I would do without you. And so I just want to say thank you from all of us here. Thank you so much for putting up with us and for loving us. And I do have to go get Jamie's lunch and get out of here. So Longhorn Lester signing out. You guys stay tuned this week. Lots of good videos coming up. Okay. Thank you guys. And we do love you. I'm trying to find a way to end this. Thank you guys.